Hi, my name is Kevin Sanders. I played Hunter Shannon in Dilectione. I heard about Dilectione via Instagram. Joseph reached out to me and he said he had a project that he wanted to work on and he wanted me to audition for. And originally I wasn't planning on auditioning just because I was actually going to have surgery fairly soon. So in my head, I was like, nah, I don't think I'm going to do it. But I just kept going back to the message, you should come in audition, you come in audition. So finally, I was just like, you know what? I'm gonna go over the lines, I'm just gonna go for it. And so I went in and I saw who was there, and it was a very intimate casting. There wasn't a whole lot of people, and so like looking around, I felt that like, okay, Joe kind of knew who he wanted in this movie. Like I feel that he really headhunted, and he was looking around. I'm not too sure how he found me, assuming Instagram, but I'm very fortunate that he did because one, I got to work with a whole bunch of creative people, including Joe, and I made a whole bunch of great friends. So developing the character of Hunter, I got a couple notes from Joe saying that Hunter was a real go-getter. He didn't let people get into his way. Everything was basically done a certain way, and the only way was Hunter's way. And it was pretty much Hunter has to be kind of like the top dog, and so his character is pretty much always kind of going after Jose's character, and so knowing that, what I did is that I actually did a lot of character study on Chris Evans' Captain America. I wanted to take that Boy Scout type character and kind of implement it, but not so much of like I'm good, but more so of just like, dude, I'm gonna take your job. This is what I want. And so I would always go over the lines, and I would make my decisions and stuff like that. But every time I would go down set, obviously we would do the scene, and then we would have our freedom. And then of course, Joe being the director always wanted something new, and just like, can you try it this way? Can you do it this way? And so, adapting to that, and I was able to switch in, switch out on emotions, and just kind of figure out what he wanted, and added it to what I worked on as Hunter. First day on set was actually kind of like nerve-wracking. It's the first day, everyone's kind of like, they want to do a good job. They're not quite sure of how the day is going to go, how all the other actors are going to be. And so I was really prepared. I made sure that I was off book. I made sure that I was attentive, that I was on time, because that's key. Being on time is very, very key. So always be on time. But yeah, I just I would go over my lines over and over and over again until it was time to actually shoot the scene. And if I had the chance, I would try to get one of the actors or actresses to run lines, just because it's good to kind of get that feel of who you're doing a scene with and how they're going to react or deliver, and so I try to be as prepared as possible, just so we could take the least amount of takes when we were shooting, at least with me. So my favorite memory on set, honestly, there's so many. There are so many. The day we shot the SWAT scene where we breached the room, that was a lot of fun. We did 3 hours of just straight training, and I mean, honestly, like, that's the kind of stuff that I really enjoy. I enjoy stuff like that. But oh man, as for favorite memory, there was a scene where we find a body, and I have to deliver this one line, and it's shit, but I prolong it. And for some reason, that became the whole, like, that became like the word of like the rest of the production. So like, whenever you would see anybody, all of a sudden you just hear shit. So I think that's probably one of my favorite memories. At least it was long lasting. I'm still laughing about it now. So working with the other actors, you know, all of them are on different experience levels, and it's fun seeing how creative they can get and how much risk they take, you know, just trying, you know, and you can see like on their face, like when they first start doing the scene, you know, they feel a little bit nervous, which is fine, you know, everyone's nervous. I'm always nervous whenever I do stuff, you know. I was nervous before I did this. I sat down, I'm talking louder now, and so that's something. So, but working with the other actors like Jose Anthony, he always had something up his sleeve on set, and so I was kind of prepared to improv wherever I had to. Same with Cheryl. She would always have something like a button or a throwaway to give out, and you know, reacting to that, you know, that was always a fun challenge that I got to see on scene. But you know, obviously working with some of the others that haven't had that much experience, you know, and they were given this opportunity, it was always nice to work with them and to kind of like, you know, see how far they've come along, you know, starting the scene and working the scene before we actually shot it, you know, and seeing how much they've opened up from the first time we went over to eventually like maybe say the sixth take, you know, and it's refreshing to see other people become creative as you're working with them. So honestly, like this group of people was just so talented, and so I've got nothing bad or anything to say, and that other than I would love to work with them again. So as for like situations that happen where we would just have to make things work, there was a night where we lost a location last minute, and we had to basically create a whole brand new scene with using a location that, you know, we hadn't even intended. And so it was kind of cool to see everyone kind of get together and brainstorm and put together this whole set, you know, with what we had. And honestly, we really didn't have much. We just had a backyard, and it just really worked out because there were some cars there. But you know, what you could do with some lights and a little movie magic is awesome. So that scene, the scene where I find Johnson, and I have to pretty much cry, and I'm showing a lot of emotion, you know. I almost, and I didn't want to do this because, you know, obviously, like, you know, going on set, that's like my safe haven. I love going on set and just having fun and, you know, goofing off and talking and then jumping into character and giving this emotion. But this emotion, you know, the sadness, you know, it was really deep and it was really hard to connect with. And so I almost asked if everyone could be serious on set for at least 1 hour. But I didn't want to do that because that takes away from the whole fun and the creativeness. And so trying to connect into that character prior to shooting that scene was the hardest thing, because I would have to go around. I could hear everyone joking and laughing and having fun, and I wanted to laugh. But a lot of me was just like, I would just get a little angry and I would start to show that emotion just a little bit more. And so I was just really, really trying to connect and get into that realm of sadness. And it wasn't fun, but we did it, and I'm proud of that. You know, I got through it and I did it. So obviously, when it comes to like the costume and everything, as soon as I put that vest on, I felt like Hunter. I had the vest and I had the gun, and I was walking around. I was pulling it out, holding it, and pointing it around, putting it back in. You know, I just feel that like that's, you know, something a kid Hunter would do, and just trying to tap into that character. And so, honestly, like even that last final scene where, you know, I've got the tie on, I've got my coffee mug. It didn't feel like Hunter unless I had that vest on and the gun. So last day on set was actually pretty surreal. From doing, you know, filming pretty much every weekend with these guys for a whole month, and just kind of going through everything that we were doing, especially all the things that happened leading up to that last day. And so like I remember we all met up in Boulder City about around like 4:30 in the morning, and we are just kind of talking about all the things that transpired prior to that final day. You know, rest in peace Iggy, like the guy's great, you know, and so I remember just sitting there and talking with them, and it was kind of like a deep moment, you know, and so like we really made that last day for him, you know, and leaving, it, like in my head, I'm just kind of thinking, it's just like, man, it's over now. Like, what am I gonna do next? And I kind of ask myself that on every single project that I do. It's over now. What am I gonna do next? And I'm gonna continue making more stuff because this is what I love doing. And you know, these projects, they come and go, but we finished it, and I'm happy that you guys got to see it, and I hope you guys get to enjoy it. I gotta say, it's been a pleasure, and I'm not just blowing smoke up, you know, their arse or anything like that. It was a real pleasure. I love working with Joe and Caesar. They cracking up jokes all the time. They're just really good vibe to be around, and so honestly, I really hope, and I got my fingers crossed, that I can work with them on another project sometime soon. So as for me, as of right now, I've been doing a lot of writing, and so I've got, I wrote 3 short films so far, and I plan to actually film them myself. One of them I am starring. It's based off of a true story. And a couple of them are just kind of projects that I thought, you know what, that would be good for me to, if anything, practice on telling a story for on screen. And so I'm working on another one. It's a horror film, and another one is a Western. So be on the lookout for those. So who did we get at the very end? You know, that's a really good question. I've asked that question many a times as we were filming, and the answer is at the very end, post-credits. So watch all the way through.